Good afternoon, children. Today we are discussing about the first point of nationalism in Europe. So the first point, that is the French Revolution and the idea of the nation. The first clear expression of the nationalism came with the French Revolution in 1789. And the main focus is here the French Revolution. The French Revolution was initially held in absolute monarchy. What is the meaning of absolute? Absolute monarchy means a government or system of rule that has no restraints or the power exercised. In history, the term refers to a form of monarchical form of government that was centralized, militarized, and repressive. In France, the absolute monarchy system in existence till the year 1789. What is the revolt broke out in 1789? You know that the people have marched out of their houses, walked out of the streets, lasted the Bastille Palace, made the king to run away from there. They decided, we don't know, go for absolute monarchy system further, and they have to decide our own system of body of active citizens. Here the active citizen means the people who are actually facing problems will be the part of system of governance. And what do they do? The active citizens, their duty is to shape the future of the nation. There should not be any discrimination, uniformity each other. New concept also emerging, that is non into equality. Equality means all are equal in front of the law or in front of the God also. Non discrimination based on the richness and poorness. Here they brought the word called La Patrie. La Patrie means fatherland. The second one, this land, the fatherland belonging to everybody. They also brought the another one, the concept of le citoyen, means citizenship. You are the citizen of the nation. They also brought new tricolor flag. And this flag also symbolizes a new nation emerging outside. They also renamed as government, means the elected representative system. But they are making the government, they themselves participated. They changed the systems. They brought new hymns, new songs, new patrons, and the martyrs. Martyrs means who have sacrificed their life in the struggle of the freedom to get the struggle. They were commemorated. The language which are spoken in regionally, which are having the regional dialects, were being discarded. The Estates General was elected by the body of active citizens, that is renamed. The new name was National Assembly. Here, a centralized administrative was put in place and it formulated the uniform laws for all citizens within its territory. And here, they have to the regional dialects were discouraged and French was spoken and written in Paris became the common language of the nation. And at the same time, the revolutionaries declared that it was the mission or the aim. Mission means the aim of the French nation to liberate the peoples of Europe from despotism. Then after that, when the news of the events in France reached the different cities of Europe, different countries of the Europe, students and other members of the educated middle classes began setting up Jacobin clubs. Children, did you know the Jacobin clubs? We have to study it in the 9th standard, means in the previous year. Their activities and their campaigns also, the way for the French armies, they have to move in Holland, in other countries like Germany, Italy, Holland, then Switzerland, and that is in 1790s. and the French armies began to carry the idea of nationalism abroad. And at that time, here again, a broad strip or the areas of something. Here we want to study the Napoleon. Napoleon introducing many of the reforms he had already introduced in France. He had introduced many reforms in France. And here, through a return to monarchy, France was returned to monarchy. At that time, Napoleon Bonaparte was the ruler. And he, no doubt, he destroyed the democracy in France, democratic form of government. He automatically, no doubt, that is destroyed. But he introduced many reforms this year. That is known into the Civil Code of 1804 or Napoleonic Code. This was known as Civil Code of 1804 or the Napoleonic Code. This was very, very important. What are the important things including the Napoleonic Code? Here, this was exported to the regions under French control, and in the Dutch Republic, in Switzerland, in Italy and Germany, the Napoleon simplified the administrative divisions, abolished the feudal system, and freed peasants from serfdom and manorial dues. In the towns, the guild restrictions also removed. Transport and communication systems also improved or developed. And like the peasants, artisans, workers and new businessmen, they have to enjoy a new type of freedom. And the businessmen and small-scale producers of goods, they have to realize that uniform laws or standardized weights and measures and a common national currency would facilitate the movement and exchange of goods and capital from one region to another. This was very useful. Here, in the areas were conquered, the reactions of the local populations to French rule were mixed. Initially, some places like Holland, Switzerland, as well as in certain cities like Brussels, Mainz, Milan and Warsaw. In these places, the French armies were welcomed as harbingers of liberty. Harbingers means a person that announces or carries the liberty. Here, who were the harbingers? You know that, French armies. Okay, and here they have to the initial enthusiasm turn to the hostility. And here the clear that the new administrative arrangements did not go hand in hand with political freedom. And automatically the taxation also increased. Censorship also prevailed and forced conscription. Conscription means compulsory enlistment of state service into the French armies required to conquer the rest of Europe, and these all seemed to outweigh the advantages of the administrative changes. Outweigh means all these seemed the greater advantages of the administrative changes.